David Cameron talking there on the eve of voting. Let's have two perspectives. Let's have a yes and a no person. The former Labour Home Secretary Alan Johnson, he's in favour of the alternative vote. The Labour peer, former Cabinet Minister Lord Boateng, who'd rather keep the first-past-the-post system. Standing shoulder to shoulder on College Green in very nice sunshine. And good to see you both, gentlemen.
Good to be with you.
Alan, I'll come to you in a second, Paul. Alan, first of all, tell Paul why he's got it wrong.
Listen, we're dear friends, and there'll be families all over the country perhaps debating this. I think Paul's got it wrong because Paul is a member of a radical progressive party. We were established in 1900 to change things, to get rid of hereditary peers, to get rid of an unelected second chamber, to change the electoral system. And I think over the last 60 years, the fact that when I was born, 94% of MPs had more than 50% of the vote. Now there's only a third of MPs that have a majority vote. That wouldn't be acceptable anywhere in the Labour Party, where we always insist in any election with more than two candidates, they have to get a majority. So we use AV internally at every stage of the Labour Party. If it's good enough for us, it must be good enough for members of Parliament in Westminster.
Alan, it's because I'm a conviction politician. It's because I'm passionate about my politics and believe that at the end of the day, the electorate are entitled to a fair system, one person, one vote, not a perpetual compromise, shabby deals behind closed doors. And I'm afraid that's what AV does. That's why only 3 countries in the whole world, Papua New Guinea, Fiji and Australia, have AV. 50, the vast majority of free democracies, look to us in Britain for an electoral system that served us well. If we'd had your system, out of the last 4 elections, 3 of them under your system of AV would have been more disproportionate in their outcomes than under first past the post. You know, I admire you, I love you dearly, but you're wrong on this one.
Paul is such a passionate conviction politician, he can talk absolute bullshit when he's passionately and with conviction.
Excuse me!
Listen, let me just say, this system that is supposed to be adopted around the world, nowhere in Europe has our system. None of the emerging democracies in Eastern Europe or in Latin America have this system.
Alan, this
in
is
South
Britain.
Africa,
this is
where
Britain.
Mandela's triple alliance formed a new democracy, they didn't even consider first past the post. The only country that has first past the post, emerging democracy, is Zimbabwe.
Oh, please. Look, if we'd had AV during the Thatcher years, she would have won even more convincingly than she did.
That's an argument about proportionality.
The only party that benefits always from AV is the Lib Dem party. Do we want Nick Clegg to be the continual election broker, shabby deals, broken promises, behind closed doors? No, one person, one vote, each vote counted fairly, a clear outcome.
So Mandela's South Africa is not one member, one vote.
Actually, this is Britain.
It's not one member, one vote.
South Africa.
Yeah, but let's talk about.
I'm supporting.
You were saying our system is the same.
I'm saying
we've exported our system around the world.
Alan,
we haven't.
If you want,
so Scandinavia is undemocratic because they put more than one cross on a piece of paper.
If you want proportional representation, come out and say it. AV is what Nick Clegg himself called a shabby little compromise. What you really want, many of you AV supporters, is proportional representation. Well, then put that on the ballot paper. You didn't do that. So let's vote for what we know. Let's say no to AV because it's not fair, it's not proportionate, it is the shabby little compromise Nick Clegg said it was.
Gentlemen.
Paul has joined with the Conservatives here with the stupefying argument that nothing must ever change to our electoral system.
I haven't said
If we'd have taken that in the past, we'd have never got votes for women, we'd have never got rid of hereditary
Alan and
peers,
Paul,
we'd have never introduced the Scottish Parliament.
Listen to me.
I'm afraid Paul has turned from a radical to a conservative.
Let's just take a pause, or I'm just going to fade you out, frankly. Dear friendly brothers in the Labour Party, we're going to leave you there. And thank you very much for doing my job for me very easily today. I'm very grateful to you, but at least it was a lively debate. Alan Johnson, Paul Boateng, thank you very much. And there you go. If you want proof that the show is live, it certainly is. We had no time to bleep Alan Johnson there, and I'm sorry about the bit of outburst of bad language, so for those of you offended by that, you have my sincere apology. Can I say that you can find out more about tomorrow's elections on the referendum on the BBC website. Just go to bbc.co.uk/vote2011. All the details there for you.